Hey guys, Dr. Armstrong here, aka The Modern Vet, and I'm back with another video where we are going to be talking about the 5 things that you absolutely have to take into consideration before you jump into an internship after graduating vet school. This decision will definitely impact your early career, whether you choose to do it or not. So before you make that decision, again, just make sure that you've considered at least 5 crucial things. And then once you've taken those things into account, then you can confidently say that pursuing the internship was the best thing for you, or, you're glad you didn't do it. All right, so let's just jump right into it. Number 1, the financial reality. Let's start with the money because no one really wants to talk about it, even though everyone should. Most internships pay somewhere between like $50,000 in a year, even $27,000 in a year. Now, if you factor in what new grads make on average, like in general practice, urgent care, or even the ER, their salary range can be anywhere from like $100,000 to $130,000, okay? Again, average. Now, whenever you are factoring in student loan repayment, your rent, your car payments, eating, living, if you have family, man, that adds up, and it could potentially be more than what you would bring in on an internship salary. So the internship year could potentially cost you, let's just throw out a number, like $80,000 in opportunity costs. And so you got to think about what you're losing as far as like investments concerned, your savings, and overall your momentum. Alternatively, if your main reason for doing an internship is for mentorship or to build your confidence, you can do that, get the mentorship and confidence that you need, but make real money while doing so. So look for mentorship focused hospitals or even structured urgent care or ER programs such as what Veg has to offer, or I believe Blue Pearl. They train new grads intensively for like at least 6 months to a year. Some hospitals may offer mini internships as well, or like a vet residency style internship that I'm certain can give you the opportunity to grow without going broke. Point number 2, confidence or codependence. Which one are you choosing when you pursue an internship? Yes, internships can definitely feel like a safety net. And for some, that's comforting, which is fine. But here's a trap. You could actually be delaying your confidence by staying in the ivory tower environment for way too long. In an internship, you're often surrounded by specialists and they review your decision making, right? That can make you sharper academically, but it may also make you second guess yourself later on whenever you're out on your own. And I shouldn't just say like academically, yes. Clinically, yes, that could definitely make you sharper knowing that you can rely on someone who's been there, done that, who has like a sharp acuity for certain things. But again, and I'm not saying this is going to happen to everyone, but just think, could it happen to me where after having relied on them for so long and now I'm out on my own practicing, am I going to feel imposter syndrome? Am I going to feel stuck? Am I going to be second guessing myself because now I don't have that neurologist right around the corner who can confirm my treatment plan or like let me know that I'm on the right track. Now, an alternative to that is finding a clinic that lets you own your cases early, but they're still there to back you up. So there's definitely a sweet spot between being thrown to the wolves, being micromanaged, and being managed just right. So if you decide not to take on an internship and instead jump into practice, when you're being interviewed, make sure you are also interviewing them by asking these questions. How do you structure your mentorship? And would I have autonomy with some safety nets in place? Because in my opinion, that's how you build true confidence and not dependency. Number 3, the ivory tower medicine. When you're pursuing an internship, do know that kind of like vet school, you're gonna be still surrounded by an ivory tower approach to things. And you may be hunkering down on ivory tower medicine that in reality, no one can really afford. So just like vet school is textbook medicine, many internships are too. You get used to so many different diagnostics, so many different options, so many different surgical procedures, etc. And then when you get into the real world, you realize that your average client just cannot afford it. So there's like a whiplash feeling that you may experience between ideal medicine and real world medicine. And sometimes that whiplash feeling can be just so jarring that you will feel incredibly frustrated or just like burnt out early on. So just something to keep in mind. So what you may want to do is to find a practice that will expose you to real world, everyday situations. Kind of like urgent care, GP hospitals that are very busy and that will see people from all walks of life. Because in my opinion, it's better to be exposed early on to like a wide spectrum of what is possible in medicine, as far as like, yes, the ideal approach, all the way down to this is not ideal, this is not gold standard, but if it keeps your pet alive and healthy while you figure out your finances or whatever, let's do it, as long as we're not breaking any oath or anything like that, you know? So alternatively, what you can consider is working somewhere that is kind of like GP urgent care and they're just like very busy. They see people from all walks of life, because in my opinion, that's going to give you like a pretty decent exposure to the wide spectrum that is veterinary medicine and pet owners, okay, the profiles. And so you will get a taste of the gold standard approaches to care, as well as the less than ideal approaches to care, all right? And it's better to have that experience under your belt early on rather than prioritizing knowing every rare differential that exists, because that's just not going to serve you really. So number 4, now internships may stall your career momentum. Now this is something that may not resonate with many. Like in other words, you may not even care too much about this, but for those who do, delaying your investments, because what money are you really going to have left over to invest? Delaying leadership, delaying your identity formation as a practicing veterinarian, like as a doctor, as a role model, etc. Those things might be delayed as you're pursuing an internship. And so again, some people may not even care, it might be a moot point, but if you are very intentional with how you live your life and how you plan on things looking in the future and what your goals are and how long you project to get there, etc., this may be something that you would find important. And last but not least, number 5, are you choosing to pursue an internship out of fear or out of empowerment? Now, we're not talking about people who know for a fact that they want to specialize in something. Like obviously you're going to need to do the internship. We're talking about those of you who you just don't feel like you're going to be good enough. You just don't feel like you're ready, right? You don't feel confident enough. You feel a lot of imposter syndrome, which by the way, that kind of doesn't really go away, but that's a video for another day. So this is a big identity question. Just remember that fear-based decisions often lead to regret, whereas empowered decisions often lead to growth. Just remember that you do not need an internship to feel worthy as a doctor. You do not need an internship to feel validated or dignified in any way. What you need is intention. You need community support and obviously continued learning. Internships can absolutely serve you, even if you're not doing an internship for a residency. But make sure, again, if you're going to pursue that, you're doing it from a place of empowerment and not a place of fear. Like, oh, if I don't do this, I'm not going to be good enough. Internships can serve you, but they should not define you. You can absolutely find communities that are open to doing M&M rounds with you, the morbidity, mortality rounds, just people talking about different cases. And if you can't find that group, make one for yourself, right? Create one on your own. With the right support, with the right community, you can absolutely dominate being a new grad without sacrificing a year of income and a year of your sanity and a year of your life. All right, so I really hope this video helped. Again, I'm not trying to say not to do an internship. I'm just making sure that you factor in certain things before you devote the next year of your life to something that's really grueling and doesn't really give you the best return on investment, in my opinion. Growth doesn't always happen under supervision. It happens whenever you take ownership of your life and you are very intentional with what you're doing. And remember, you do not need validation to be a great doctor. You need repetition, you need support, you need to be willing to reflect on your mistakes and be open to feedback as well. Be open to learning every single day, even when you're at home, to be willing to accept support, to be willing to learn from your mistakes, to be willing to learn from others. So if this video has helped shift your perspective in any way, please let me know. If you have any pointers to add, any feedback, anything, drop a comment and I'd love to read it. Until next time, guys, I would just want you to stay curious. I want you to stay confident and remember your first year out does not define you. What you do with that time, that's what defines you. Bye.